Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillahi wa alayhi wa sahbihi wa ala wa ba'd. On this, the 27th night of Ramadan, a night which could very well be Laylatul Qadr, ask Allah Azza wa Jal to accept your dua and your worship and that of all of our community to draw us closer and nearer to Him. Allahumma ameen. And as this unusual and yet blessed and beautiful Ramadan comes to an end, and as we have continued to worship together throughout this month, I want to tell you tonight all about Eid. Eid will occur inshallah on Sunday, May 24th. Saturday will be the last day of fasting inshallah. And this Eid, like this Ramadan, is going to be different than the usual ones. And you and your family will have a decision to make about how to observe this Eid in a manner that best meets your individual needs inshallah. To share with you what's been going on at the masjid, we've had multiple task forces hard at work with grueling and exhausting and detailed effort looking at the question of what is appropriate and how to offer it, if at all, during Eid day, and another team working also on a phased reopening as the government changes their guidance in the coming phases, how we can do so safely, inshallah, complete with expertise across us representing religious expertise, along with medical professionals, our leadership, our executives, security, facilities maintenance, and many others, alhamdulillah. Talking to you today about Eid, we will not be able to offer Salatul Eid in the traditional sense this year. Normally we would have gathered inside and had one of our beautiful gatherings. As you know, this is not allowed by current government regulations, and so it is sadly off the table. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to accept by our intentions, inshallah. It is sufficient for you to pray 2 rak'ahs at home with your family without a khutbah. And I would like you to know that for Salatul Eid, it is sufficient, as has been published by the MJ Fiqh Council and the Fiqh Council of North America, the European Fiqh Council, and as we've shared with you and published ourselves, this does suffice the requirements for Eid should you and your family choose to do that. Inshallah, for those of you that are able and willing and comfortable, we are also doing our best to offer an alternative, but that alternative will look very different from what we're used to, as necessitated by the times. In this modified prayer, we will inshallah be gathering at an address to be disclosed on the website. All the details you can find posted inshallah tomorrow, Wednesday, at raleighmasjid.org. Best way to keep up with the details is to join our text message list. Text 484848, the message IAR, and you will automatically be added inshallah. We will release the details of a registration process through which you would get the address and detailed directions for coming to a drive-in Eid Salah prayer. Now, to be clear, for this prayer will be offered in a modified way. We'll be praying with the same hukm and manner of praying that you would pray on an airplane or in a moving vehicle. The prayer itself will be offered in the car, as we will not be able for anyone to exit the car. Now, I know this is very unusual and different to many of you, but the fiqh aspects, as you are used to from us, are neither haphazard nor not studied. We have corresponded with some of the senior most thought leaders for weeks now on this issue. We are together with virtually every large masjid in the United States, which is either having to offer such a service or having to ask people to pray at home. And I'm very comfortable that the details we are offering with you are within the boundaries of our deen through our deliberation, myself along with Imam Muammar, as I said, with our thought leaders and scholars. This is an application, however, that is unusual to many of you. It's an application of what's called fiqh al-nawazil, the special part of our fiqh rulings that occur during emergencies and unusual circumstances. Almost every one of you have applied these before when you have traveled, for example, on an airplane and offered salah in the airplane. That prayer, if done without an excuse, would be invalid. To not be making sujood, to not be properly arranged in rows, to not be facing the qibla, all of these things would either be makruh or many of them would be invalidating to the prayer and make the prayer unacceptable. However, during particular circumstances, and our scholars have applied these circumstances during this time, such things become allowable because of the fiqh maxim or principle. What cannot be attained in its entirety at least part of it is attained. And we're going to be seeing that not only during Eid Salah, but during social distancing, during prayers, and so on and so forth. Some of you are interested in more detail, and we correspond to our best ability. For the details, go into the different schools of thought and a lot of details of fiqh. But at the end, we have to steward our responsibility to lead. And our number one responsibility while discharging our religious responsibilities is to make sure and provide for your safety and comfort. In addition, we have not done this alone. We've been in coordination with over 15 masajid and institutions across the area with the Triangle Imams Council. And alhamdulillah, acknowledge that while we are one, unified in our discussion and idea exchange, we also recognize that different context, different size, different localities, even differences between Durham and Raleigh lead to different decisions being appropriate in different contexts. So it also sets your expectation that whether across the region or for those of you with family in other states or other parts of the country, it's to be expected that different masajid will offer different mechanics of salah. Some will not offer it altogether. And this is not an indication of disunity, but it's an indication of difference of context. So again, I ask you to join our text message list. Text to the number 484848, the message IAR, and you will be automatically added. This will give you all the details as we draw closer to the day. And also visit our website and social media where towards the end of this week, starting tomorrow on Wednesday, we will have details on this ability to pray, inshallah. We are not telling you that you have to pray. In fact, I want to emphasize to you that you are not religiously obligated to join the communal prayer for Salatul Eid. And we are not saying that this is superior or better to any other thing. If you prefer to pray at home, or if you find this confusing, or if you're more religiously comfortable doing so, we invite you to offer 2 rak'at at home without a khutbah. This suffices the Eid Salah. And for the benefit, you can also tune in live to the khutbah that will be offered via YouTube. And this suffices, inshallah, your obligations for bringing the beauty of Salatul Eid to your home on that day. Then again, for those that are out and about and for whom this is an appropriate decision, those of course that meet the criteria that you will see on the registration in terms of not being ill and particular risk groups, are welcome to join as long as you will comply fully with these regulations. And we do need the full cooperation of our community. You will not be able to exit the car. The prayer will be offered entirely in the car. And this is absolutely necessary. If you are uncomfortable with these regulations, please do not come, because these will be necessary and expected of our whole community and will be enforced on site, inshallah. If you have additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask, but first consult. You'll find that a lot of these resources and FAQs are already answered on the resources that will be posted online. And whether, inshallah, you're observing the salah in your house, or you may choose to participate in this drive-in prayer in the cars in the location to be disclosed, inshallah. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal that this different and unusual Eid still be a blessed and an uplifting one full of joy, inshallah, and happiness for our communities, even as we face these difficulties, that we, inshallah, stay strong and stay rushing towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah Azza wa Jal may give us these elevated and high levels, inshallah, after Ramadan. May Allah Azza wa Jal allow us to end Ramadan on a strong foot and really elevate ourselves in these final blessed hours. We call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahumma innaka afuun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. Oh Allah, you are the pardoner, the most generous, you love to forgive, so forgive us all. Allahumma ameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.